Shoshone, California. This town was founded in 1910 and has a population of 31 people. It is right outside of Death Valley National Park and about 50 or so miles from Baker, California, and maybe a little less than that from Pahrump in the other direction on the 178. And what an amazing history this little town has. Check out this part of the desert with me. The Shoshone is a tribe of Native Americans that originated in the western Great Basin. They spread north and east, and present day they're in Idaho and Wyoming. California, Death Valley. Here at the Shoshone Museum here with my dad. We're out here enjoying Death Valley, hearing about the Amargosa River, which is actually a river that goes up and down the Amargosa Valley, but it's underground. So some of it, sometimes it pops out, like up by Beatty in different areas where you can see the water, but by and large, it's a river underground. So that's deep, underground river, pretty cool. So we're out here checking that out, and checking out how Death Valley's doing today. The miles don't matter. So originally it wasn't even mining out here. The Tonopah rail line came right by here, and because of this underground river and because there's a warm spring right up the road, there was water here. So this was basically like a watering station, a stop on the railroad track. So they were doing the borites and stuff with the railroad line out here. You can see back here. The lady just told us that every time the rain comes, whether it's big or small, this is going to flood every road going back east here, out of here. So you got to be careful if there's during the rain, the flash flood signs, they're not joking. But anyways, it's amazing. Little stop out here in the desert, warm spring, water in the middle of Death Valley. Hottest place on earth, and there's water and greenery too. It's pretty cool. This museum is super cool. Like I say, this was a stop on the TNT Railroad, the Tonopah Tidewater Railroad, and it was a little watering hole. Now they've got a museum, shows all the geology, shows a lot of the history out here. There used to be camels out here. You think of like Africa for camels, but there was camels out here, and mammoths, all kinds of stuff. And so this museum talks about that and shows some of the stuff out here. Pretty amazing. So we're here in Shoshone, and that's how it's pronounced down here. Up north it's Shoshone, and sometimes the Native Americans will have an I at the end instead of an E, so that's an interesting point of reference on how it's pronounced. But down here in this actual little town it's Shoshone, and then up north Shoshone. This is my dad. Here in Shoshone, across from the museum, is what's called Dublin's Gulch. Folks lived out here, carved little dwellings right into the sandstone. They say some have garages, stovetops. Pretty crazy. graves, both old and new. Shoshone. If I lived in Shoshone back in the day, I would definitely live here at Dublin's Gulch. That's pretty awesome. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it's probably a little cooler inside the big rock cutout cave than it would be, say, a old wood stick frame little cabin or whatnot. So yeah, buddy, miles don't matter out here in Shoshone. Like I mentioned earlier, also pronounced as Shoshone, depending on if you're up north, but right here it's Shoshone. Life and death valley. Pretty amazing. I'm out here exploring with my dad. He came down to visit from Oregon. Those miles don't matter either. Pretty exciting. We're gonna go check out the date farm. Shoshone, sometimes spelled as I mentioned earlier with an I at the end, sometimes with an E at the end, is also called Snake. It's a Native American group, and they've occupied southeastern California across the central and eastern Nevada and in northwest Utah, and like I say, all the way out to southern Idaho and western Wyoming. The eastern Shoshone are known for their plain horse culture. They acquired the horse in the 1700s, and it completely changed their lifestyle. It says online they became proficient hunters, and then they became fierce warriors. Out here, hundreds of feet below sea level, home of the Shoshone Indians, the Snake Indians. There's water in the desert.